What's up, guys? It's Donny Coram, your foreclosure deals coach, and welcome to this week's live Q&A session with yours truly, the foreclosure deals coach, where we discuss how to find, figure, fund, fix, and flip your first foreclosure deal. This has been an incredible summer here in the real estate market here in Colorado Springs, and honestly, nationally. Like all the impact we have seen from the interest rate increase, the general attitude towards real estate as a whole, and then the real estate investor market, which is always operating some degree in flux or in tandem with the retail market, and what the opportunities have been created as we watch this unfurl right in front of us. Now, the general mindset has been that there are going to be difficulties in selling properties in the real estate market with rates pushing in to 6 and 7%. And although there was definitely some truth to that in the initial stages, what we have seen is a relatively flat inventory on what's happening in real estate right now. This is fascinating because when you look at buying power being cut nearly in half, when we speak of buying a house for 2 to 3%, as we saw in the 2020 and 21 era, to today, we're at 6 or 7%. The mindset was accurate. The belief that real estate was going to fall off the map was not only expected, but we had to know that was going to happen. If it had happened as scheduled, though, if that were the case, we also would have seen a massive increase in inventory. You see, sellers have to sell no matter what. Keep in mind, life changes throughout. If you have a life, you get this firsthand, but people get married and they want to move to a house together. They get divorced, right? And they need to sell the property. They have children, so they need to increase the size of the house that they live in. Children graduate from school. I've got 3 beautiful daughters, 19, 16, and 14 years old. And, as they hit their high school years, the contemplation has to be, well, when they're gone, when they move out, are we going to need the larger property that we've had? So the reality of the real estate market is it's always in a state of flux. That does not change. Okay. What does change is the buying power of the population. So you've got the federal government and all their wisdom. They saw this massive increase in the overall price of housing, causing an inflationary market, meaning that houses they went up 30 or 40% inside of a 2-year period, which is just far too much to be sustainable. If you continue at that rate and you go 5 or 10 years, you're talking about houses that are selling for $300,000 now, if they continue to go up at that amount, would now be selling for 3 times that amount, 1.2, 1.5 million. Something had to be done. Right. So what did they do? They started increasing interest rates. Some were going to argue that they went a little far with the interest rate increase because they were in panic mode, which the federal government is known for being in most of the time, right? And they started increase rates to this drastic consumption level where now it seems like the average consumer is no longer going to buy a house because it got so expensive. But nothing could have been further from the truth. As a matter of fact, we are seeing less sales for certain. Let's not get it twisted that we are selling as many houses that we sold in the past. Okay, we have definitely saw a significant decrease in the number of units of properties that are being sold, but we are not seeing a massive increase in the inventory on the market. Basically, guys, if you look back to going as far back as the dot-com bubble or the baby boomer crisis, there have been multiple blips in the economic radar that have slowed the production of housing. One of the more recent ones was the COVID crisis, right? When you are producing human beings at a faster rate than you're producing housing for those human beings, overall, if you look nationally, you have a shortage of houses period. So the inventory has not gone to these massive levels that we suspected was going to happen when we first saw these interest rate increases, but rather it stayed relatively flat. We're not seeing the inventory drop off the map, but we still do not have enough housing available in general for the number of human beings that currently need to get into housing. And although that's true on a national and even global scale, it's even more true right here in the Colorado Springs market. Why? Because perhaps call me a little bit biased because I live here, but we are still in one of the most beautiful cities available in the country, in my opinion. It's why I still live here. I'm looking out my balcony right now to a gorgeous view of Pikes Peak. We've got a beautiful city that we live in. It's a nice place to live. Crime is relatively low. The weather has 4 distinct seasons. Whether you like it or not, you're going to get all 4 seasons. Our water system is cleaner than most places in the country. Our air is cleaner than most places in the country. If you are looking anywhere on a global scale, I promise you, Colorado Springs, Colorado, and Colorado in general is still one of the best places to live. So people are coming here on that basis. Now, let's enter in what's happening in the military segment and the fact that we are a huge military town. When you have as many military bases as we do, and let's list them off here, we've got Fort Carson, we've got the Air Force Academy, we've got Peterson Air Force Base, and now we've got Schriever, formerly Air Force Base, now Space Force Base, right here. And we are the center hub of Space Force. What we're going to see is an even greater influx in people needing to live here to be around and support the large amount of military personnel that we have. What this translates into, if you're watching this right now and you're wondering if now is the right time to invest in Colorado Springs real estate, let me settle that thought for you right now. We are finding deals on a consistent basis. We are fixing those deals at or above market condition, which isn't difficult because we do have a lot of antiquated houses. And that's not difficult to do because today antiquated is 2000 or earlier, right? You look at the major changes in interior design from even 2000, which doesn't seem like that long ago, but it's 20 plus years. And there's a bunch of houses that were built in this era that need to be updated, need to be modernized in order to be more desirable to the clientele. If you are going to buy a house at 6% or 7% interest, unlike when rates were cheaper, your requirement for that house is going to be a much nicer property, right? So as a result, what we do as real estate investors are taking these older and not necessarily dilapidated or run down, but rather just dated properties that the consumer doesn't want to spend $400,000, $500,000 on a property just to have to go in and spend $40,000 to $50,000 on modernizing that home. As a result of that big gap, there has never, and I mean literally never, been a better time to buy a great deal in the real estate market than it is right now, right in this moment. Okay. Although interest rates are higher, and that's a limiting factor on the top end of what we can sell it for, the amount of people who want to buy a home versus the number of nice homes available on the market is very limited. So you have homes on the market right now that are sitting, not because there's anything wrong with it, but because they're dated. And as a result of being dated, the general attitude of the consumer is, I don't want to buy this and have to modernize the paint job, buy new appliances, all the things that go into remodeling a property. I would rather buy something really well done. Well, the builders figured that out. And as a result of that, they're building brand new houses. They're still charging a premium. They are definitely not getting as much they're not selling as many new builds as they used to, but let me tell you, they are still selling, they are still building to suit, and that process is still taking place, although at a lesser number than it has in the past, okay? What does that mean for you as the residential investor? As an investor, your objective is to buy a property that you can modernize. You can add the modern paint cues that are out there. We're still kind of using a mix between agreeable gray and a little bit more tan, and now we're adding a little bit more of the base coat. And just to give you an example, my wife recently painted our place here because this is what's in modern, but you can see there, you've got the gray trim and the lighter colored base colored walls. That's a big transition from the white trim that we've been doing in the past. And we're not just seeing it on recently remodeled properties, but if you spend any time at the parade of homes and going to see some of the newer homes that are being built, this is the new trend for color palettes that people are into. By tracking the design features that people want, you are always going to have a marketplace of people people who want to purchase your property at or even above retail. And that could not be truer than the property we just finished on Auburn. I'm going to show this one to you. It's a client that did this deal, Charles. Now, Charles is based out of California. So I met this client on Zoom. We have not met in person. We did this property together. We found it, got it all flipped up. Take a look at this thing. I'm going to share my screen here so you can see it. Here we go. Okay. All right, so here's the Auburn property, a little 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,400 square foot house in kind of central East Colorado. Nice area. The property itself came out gorgeously. Charles did manage this entire project from California, and I'm not going to tell you it wasn't without its hiccups, because everything has a process. As we continue to grow the team, we're streaming out some of the process issues that we're having, but I really wanted to see the inside of this property. Charles picked up this home for $295,000. Final remodel budget probably $40,000 to $45,000. So we're $340,000 into the home. We have now under contract after a few days on the market for $400,000. The projection on this was $385,000 to $390,000, because when we offer a property to my clientele, we are always going to go a little bit below what we believe we can get for it. We want to be conservative, because if the conservative numbers get the bottom line retail profit to my client at $25,000, that's the lowest end that we want to do a deal for, is $25,000. Then if we do better than that, obviously that's better for all involved. The client's excited, wants to move on to their next deal. I'm excited because we've done right by the team that we're working with, and we can continue to operate in that fashion. So today I've got 25 clients here in the local Colorado Springs market. I'm taking this to 50 clients, so we have about 25 slots going right now, but we're only pairing that in a couple at a time so we can get people into the system. We can get them acclimated in their first deal. So I have currently 2 slots available left in the September bracket of people who can join up with this program and start doing deals. Now, that brings me a little bit to my team. Remember, this is a 5-part strategy, and the 5-part strategy that we employ here at the Foreclosure Deals Coach System is we first find a deal. Now, this is where I'm very different from most coaching programs out there, okay? You've got a lot of gurus who are out there selling their wares who are going to give you the theory of potentially doing a deal. If you find a deal with, say, Than Merrill, who blows into town every year, rents out the World Arena, sells people ridiculous coaching packages at numbers I'm not even going to repeat here because they're just so ludicrously high, okay? If you find a deal, then they will potentially consult with you on getting that deal done, okay? If you find the deal. That's where my program is. It varies. I am in the active business of locating deals for my clients each and every single day. To that end, we have TV commercials running. We're working with all the wholesalers here in the local marketplace. We've got YouTube ads, Facebook ads. All the systems are out there to locate deals. And one of the benefits to having done over 300 flips right here in the Colorado Springs market is that I know everybody in the wholesale space, most of the people in the retail space, and I'm a well-connected guy in that area. So when deals come along, a lot of them, not necessarily all of them, but a large percentage of those deals are presented to me first, so we can discern if it's good, if it's a good fit for my clientele, and then move forward from there. As a result, my deal flow, which I teach my clients to create in their business, is already very high, and I take those deals and I shuffle them off to my clientele so they can do the deals, okay? So we're not having any trouble finding deals. I've got an acquisitions team. My acquisitions manager is Scott. Scott is an absolute animal. He's going to be looking at 3 to 4 potential deals today alone. We capture video, we get content on it, we start running construction estimates, and we're determining daily what deals are a good fit for my client, okay? So we get those deals together in the find stage. Once we found the deal, we're analyzing the deal together to make sure it's a good fit. I'm not leaving you out there as a rookie flipper who's never done this before to figure this out. It is important to me that you understand your numbers when you're doing the deal, but there are really only 3 numbers that matter, which are your acquisition price, your rehab budget, and your sales price. If that math equates to a minimum gross spread of $50,000, then we split that with the cost of funds, the commissions, etc., to leave a net profit of $25,000, hopefully a little bit more. In most cases, we're yielding more than that, but we have to have a minimum gross spread of $50,000 after the remodeling budget's built in to determine if we're going to do the deal or not. So that's phase two. We have found a deal using all of my resources. We have analyze the deal using my years of experience and my team of analysts. My agent gets involved at that stage. Everybody's involved in the process of analyzing the deal. Then we move to the funding stage. I am a hard money broker myself, so I've got a list of lenders who want to work with my clients, helping them to do deals, because the more money that they move into the market, the more money they're going to make. Okay, so instead of you out there locating a deal and then not knowing how you're going to pay for it, if with this system, we are now helping you to fund that deal. So you're getting the funds that you need. You got to bring some money to the table, got to have some skin in the game. In the past, we were comfortably doing 10% down payments. Now, because the lenders are pulling back a little bit because of the market shift, we're seeing a lot more desire for 15% down. But generally speaking, I'd like my clients to have about $50,000 down available to put down on a deal. Now, if you don't have that, don't fret. I also partner with a capital company that funds the down payment for real estate investors just like you. So although I don't normally take clients who have nothing to commit to a deal, if you don't have the desired capitalization rate, we can still talk about getting you set up with business lines of credit that will allow you to put the down payment on the property so you can be at no money out of pocket on a deal. It's very doable. We're doing it all the time. We just had a client, Betty, who got approved for over $108,000 in business credit that she's using to do her first deal. Even though she has equity in her home, we were able to target that line of credit to do the deal, so she wasn't going to have the out-of-pocket expense. It definitely took longer to get to that route as opposed to just investing your own cash if you have it, or getting a HELOC on your property. If you've got home equity in the property, that's the best way to go. But if you need to go that route in the funding stage, I'm going to walk you through how to get the funding you need to do the deal. Okay. The next step is the project management side. And I would be kidding you if I told you this is not the most difficult phase for the system at the moment, but we're fixing that right now. I just brought in a solid operations manager who we're so excited to have on board, tons of background and getting projects like this done. We're bringing in project managers who are going to be on site, on the job site, talking to the contractors and working through the process of getting the property remodeled. So you're going to be connected with your project management team to get that property fixed up. I'm going to be helping you to get that process started, and we are actually getting the repairs, the cost of the repairs dialed into the loan when you buy the property. So this is not an out-of-pocket expense if we set the deal up properly. My average remodel budget somewhere between $40,000 and $50,000. So we set up a lender escrow when you purchase the property to have those funds available to deploy as the project is completed. The lenders that I work with not only fund the purchase price of the property, but the rehab costs as well. So you don't necessarily have to have that out of pocket. That is also a little bit slower than funding the rehab out of pocket if you've got access to that capital, but yet another way that we can minimize your out of pocket expense, which ultimately maximizes your return on cash investment in the property. So let's do, and then finally, we're at the flip stage where I'm connecting you with my in-house agent who's going to list the property for a substantial discount below what you would pay a normal retail agent because of the amount of volume that we're doing. So when you add up all of this, you're starting at find, you're analyzing the deal, you're funding the deal, you're fixing the deal, and then you're flipping the deal at a discount for commissions, netting a net profit to you, the end buyer, of at least $25,000, and hopefully getting you hooked on this process so you want to immediately work to head to your next deal. Guys, my vision for this system is coming to reality, but as it's working, what we want to do is have 50 investors in this local market who are each doing 4 deals per year. So those 4 deals per year translated to $25,000 per deal, or $100,000 in profit to you, the buyer who took the risk and did the deal, stepped out of your shell, invested in coaching, then invested in a property. When I have those students, we're still going to take students, but it's going to be at a much higher rate, and it's only only going to be on a case-by-case basis because I really want to focus on making 50 people in this market hyper successful, doing 4 deals per year. And in doing so, I'm going to secure the future of the system I'm creating, the team that I've built, and the clientele who are going to benefit from it. If you're watching this right now and want to get started, you got to message me. Let's set up a time to discuss if coaching is the right fit for you. This is a real world example here on Auburn on somebody who bought a property sight unseen, got the work done sight unseen, and now is under contract to sell and is going to blow way past the $25,000 profit margin on this deal and is super eager to get started and run their next deal. This could be you as well. You just got to take the first step, reach out to me, and let's get going. Okay. So, everybody has their reasons for, wanting to get into investing. Most people are looking for financial security for their family. They're looking to put more on their bottom line. Some people are transitioning out of careers they don't want to do anymore. Okay. Whatever your reasons are for doing it, let me tell you this. If you're going to go into real estate investing, go the route that I did and get a mentor, a coach, somebody to help you through the process of doing this. There are a lot of moving parts to this, but what my team and system are doing is taking what's otherwise very complicated, buying a house, going through this process, funding it, getting the construction teams, all these things, and dialing it down to make it very simple. The more of this that we do, the easier the process is going to get, and the more profitable the deals are going to get. That's a huge opportunity for you if you're looking to get started in real estate investing or just want to expand your existing enterprise, right? By connecting with this system, if you're already doing deals, you've got some rental properties, you've got a general idea on how to do real estate investing, but you want to make some quick money from flipping and get access to other deals that you might buy and hold. My clients start at doing a fix and flip. From there, the sky is the limit. You want to buy multifamily, you want to buy rental properties, you want to build your investment portfolio, you're going to want to be part of this network, because as we build this, we're getting the best deals, the best funding, the best access to contractors, and the best ability to get these properties sold and or property managed if you're going to keep it as a rental over the long term. Okay, whatever your exit strategy is for real estate investing, my objective is to be your coach and teach you all that I've learned over the last nearly 20 years of being a real estate investor, doing hundreds of deals, most of which were right here in this local market. My mentor, he went by localmentor.com, and it inspired me because real estate investing really is a local business. It's not to say that I'm not going to be expanding to other markets over time as we get this system dialed in, but right now, this is my home market. I grew up here. I went to Liberty High School, north end of town, class of 95, go Lancers. My daughters are both Lancers now. I love this city. I know it inside and out. I know exactly where to invest, exactly where to get the best deals in the marketplace. And I know how to take people who have no idea what they're doing in the real estate investment space, just have an interest in doing it and some capital to deploy to do it, and take them from that lack of knowledge to a consistent business in buying and selling properties right here in the local market. And I can help you to do the same. With that, we try to keep these to about 20 minutes. So I've done enough ranting about the program, but I'm really excited about my team, guys. We're growing rapidly. I have my operations meeting once a week. It's all done via Zoom, and it's becoming a very large room full of people who are motivated and obsessed with the idea of changing people's lives through real estate investing. Okay, it isn't just me. I got a whole team behind me, from acquisition to funding to project management to interior design to sales. Every piece along the way is growing internally, and by getting the best of the best, I'm going to be able to expand this process into a huge system that's going to make people a lot of money right here in the local market. And obviously, in doing so, it secures my success as well. I've always been taught by my mentor to help people get what they want, to get what you want, and I'm doing exactly that. Everybody wants to do real estate investing. The vast majority of people just don't know where to get started with their process. I am bridging that gap each and every single day with this program. I certainly hope that you'll become a part of it as well. So I'm going to open it up for questions for a little bit here. Like I said, we're a little bit over time as is, but I wanted to give you guys some time and show you the deal that we did this week. I'm so excited about this and other deals that are coming up in the pipeline right now. And there are some doozies, man. People are, this COVID crisis, the rental situation, I can't tell you why, but there are a lot more. I'm seeing a great volume of beat up houses that need to be fully remodeled. And then we're seeing the ones that are just a little bit dated that need to sell quickly for whatever reason. Because interest rates are high, they're sitting on the market. People know that houses are not going to sell at the speed that they used to. So they are now more focused on offloading that property at a discount to a potential investor. You have two options. You can figure out the network, go out there, hunt for deals on your own, and eventually find one. You will. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut at some point. Or you can dial into a system that's evaluating deals each and every single day, get set up with your deal quickly. Some of my clients are under contract on a deal within a week of signing up for coaching. Some we've even done within a couple of days. Okay. We're finding deals all the time. So I love the deal hunting part. It's my favorite part of the process. It's the acquisition. I'm a nonstop hunter. So I love finding and evaluating deals for clients. I would love to help you find and evaluate your deal, get you into deals and start some momentum of helping you to do deals consistently right here in the local market and beyond as we expand into other markets. With that, let's open it up for questions. Anybody have any questions or issues they'd like to address going on in the real estate market, or things about the coaching, or whatever you got? Hit me. All right. Well, in the absence of questions, if you guys are shy, let me encourage you to slide up in my DMs, send me a message. Let me know that you're interested in getting started and how I can help you get started in this process. We can talk about your financial picture, make sure you're in the right spot to buy a deal right now. And if you're not, I'll introduce you to my capital sources so we can get you acclimated and prepared to get a deal done. Don't let your mindset beliefs get in the way of doing a deal. Anybody who really wants to do this can become a real estate investor. This is not rocket science. It's the very essence of buying low and selling high. And if you're committed and want to do this, I want to work with committed people just like you, want to change their lives through real estate investing as I have changed mine, and I'm currently changing the lives of my clients right here in the local market who are doing deals. So if you're just joining us now, we're about to wrap up. I appreciate you guys getting here, but please post any questions that you have about the coaching, anything about real estate investing at large, or how I can help you today to become a more effective real estate investor. We're going to give a minute or two left on that before we wrap this thing up for the day. We got a couple people still in attendance. So I hate to leave while people are watching, but talk to me. Let me know what you're thinking or how I can help out. Just wherever you happen to be watching, comment there in the comment box. I will see it, and we can discuss anything you need to discuss related to the real estate investment world. I am certainly happy to help you. All right, well, we're still at crickets. Listen, a couple of housekeeping items, okay? Number one, I have been working on this course for the better part of a year, and we are now getting to the end of the course. I got to tell you, the plan was to sell this course for upwards of $1,000 because I believe that cramming all of my knowledge into one video-based training course was definitely worth that. We were talked down to maybe $700. There's a lot of competition in the market, and now for a very limited time, we're going to be doing a incredible discount on the course. I'm going to tell you that it's less than $100, okay? Because we really want to try the course out on a couple of people to see if they get the basis of knowledge that we have. If you'd like to be part of that beta test group, would you reach out to me? If you're committed to taking the course, I'm gonna give it for so cheap it's preposterous, because I really want people to try it out and see how it does. But we're talking, I think it's 40 videos or so where I unfold all of my strategy to get real estate investing done. So reach out on that. We'll get you a copy of the course. I want to get that tested out there. So stay tuned for that. That's coming soon. On Wednesdays, every Wednesday, we meet at Bell Brothers Brewing, which is on 114 North Tejon Street. It's in downtown at 5:30 p.m. This is an opportunity to come meet me in person. We can chat about real estate investing, discuss where your journey is at in the real estate investing world, and see if coaching is the right fit for you to do your first or subsequent deal. So try to make it out to that when you can. And lastly, I'm going to be doing a live training webinar here in the next few weeks. I believe it's the third week in September. Stay tuned for details about that. Very much this format, but we're going to dig very deep into one section of my process, and I'm going to train you everything that I know about it. This is going to be a free local webinar. I want you guys to attend that. that, learn a little bit more about the process. What I'm hoping is going to give you the confidence you need to take that first step and join in the coaching. I'm prepared to give you the full keys to the castle about the knowledge. Guys, in the end, what's going to get you from zero to getting where you want is the hand holding. It is the coaching. We've proven that time and time again. But if you need a little bit more information to make that decision, I'm here for you. Okay. And I want to provide that information to you. My clients are getting results. You can too. The time is now. The market is here. We're having a blast. We're learning a lot and we're making a lot of money along the way. With that, guys, this is Donny Coram, your foreclosure deals coach, thanking you yet again for tuning in each and every single week to the Foreclosure Deals Coach live Q&A session with Donny Coram, your host. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. And remember this, don't buy a house, buy a deal. Thank you. Have a good day.